FlyByWire have done it again. This is quite possibly the biggest freeware news we've had this year. Stay tuned for it. Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to another video. Now last year FlyByWire introduced us to the A380 NX and it was fantastic. I fly it all the time. It's probably the top aircraft out there for so many people. It is really good. So what else do the FlyByWire team do? Well, many of you know they're working on an A380 now. The A380X, which is again a freeware project. Until yesterday, news and screenshots and previews of this aircraft were few and far between. We had a few internal shots looking at the overhead panel, but nothing that really gave away this aircraft too much. Well, the FlyByWire team have been very busy, not only working on the A320, making it awesome, making it study level, they've also been working on the A380. Today I'll be sharing with you all the screenshots and the video footage externally and internally of the FlyByWire A380X. It's awesome and you don't want to miss it. So if you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I also have access to the content creators press release, so that gives me a bit more information that you might not necessarily get unless you watch their full in the hangar video. Let's get right into it, guys. So I'm going to show you my favourite screenshot first. This shows you the external model of the aircraft. Now of course it's still very early days. We're not going to see this aircraft for at least another 6 months to a year in any way, shape or form. Of course they don't offer any release dates, but you'll still probably be waiting around a year just from the looks of how this aircraft is developing so far. And you can see, yes, it's a very recognisable A380. Doesn't it look awesome? Of course, it's still very early days, but the work on the engines do really stand out. You do notice that the cockpit doesn't look like it's been worked on too much. We've got a basic, rudimental cockpit so far, but it's getting there. It looks pretty nice, I've got to be honest. All the landing gears look okay, don't seem to be clipping the ground. The engines do really stand out. They've clearly put a lot of effort into them. You can see the spirals that alert people that the engine's moving. If you've got ear defenders on and you can't hear it, although you'd have to be pretty far away or pretty deaf not to hear them, but of course when they're shutting down it's a different story. So you can see a lot of attention has been paid to the engines and I do think they look really good. This shot is frankly amazing. The fact that the FlyByWire team are working on a freeware product, truly inspirational. It shows what a bunch of enthusiasts and developers can really do when they put their minds to it, and FlyByWire really are a credit to the flight simulation world. I'm not doing that to suck up, I just really do believe it's incredible, and I think most people in the comments will agree as well. Sticking with exterior shots, we've got a nice back shot or rear shot of the aircraft. You can see this does give a bit more away in terms of where they are externally. You can see on the wings especially, there's still a lot of textures that need to go on, as well as that by the looks of it on the gears. Still very early days, but the fact we've got an aircraft like this in the works is truly incredible. Something that puts a big smile on my little face. It blows me away, quite frankly. Moving on, we've got another exterior shot taking a closer look at the engines, and it shows a high level of detail looking at the engines. They're probably the most finished part of this aircraft. I mean, just look at the reflections, it's truly incredible. You do get a little bit of a view of the front of the fuselage there, and you can see not much work's gone on there. We've just got basic modelling, but hey, as I've always said, it's still very early days. They've clearly put most of their time and effort onto this aircraft in the engines at the moment, because I do think they look marvellous. What do you guys think? Here's a front image as well. They really want to showcase these off, and I think rightfully so. They do look marvellous. As you can see, there's still parts to work on, but it's certainly getting there. Something to get really excited for. You can see at the moment they're flying around in a FlyByWire A380 livery, which is their house livery, pretty similar to the A320 NX one, I'd imagine. So there's all of the new external shots. They're the first ones you've ever had for this aircraft in proper form. We've had close-ups of parts of the aircraft, but nothing like that reveals a load of stuff regarding it. But this is something very special. Now we're going to take a look at the FMS Preview. Now these were previewed In the Hangar, which is a YouTube series. It's available on YouTube, and this is episode 7. I've put a link in the description. There is also an interior photo coming at the end of the video. I'll share it with you later. It doesn't reveal too much. All it reveals is their great amount of work they're putting into this. But anyway, let's get into this FMS preview, which shows them loading in a route from Whiskey Sierra Sierra Sierra, which is Singapore Changi Airport, I believe, to London Heathrow. So a route this aircraft flies in real life, I believe. I'll play it first without talking, and then we'll talk about it. There we go, and you can see all the data is connected. As you can see, they load up Dubai International's data from the airport data section, which of course loads it from a database. I'm not too sure whether it's the default Microsoft Flight Simulator database, which is NavBlue, or if FlyByWire have got something external, but hey, it's there. I should say on the content creators press release, it also says this has been tested in the simulator and works. The only issue is at the moment that light bloom affects the screens and makes the font hard to read. They're working on this, but just bear in mind that these systems do work in the simulator. They've just been put into an emulator at the moment, which is why you don't see them on a screen, you just see them on a blank old computer screen. But rest assured, these work, and as you can see, they're pretty in depth. They're clearly connected to a database. They're loading stuff up. I'm now going to show you how they plan a route, or how they get the route in. So this is them loading in a route again. Once again, I won't talk. I'll just talk at the end of it. It's Speedbird 16. And doesn't that look fantastic? You can see at the start there, they loaded in the departure, 20 right, and loaded in the arrival into London Heathrow, which was 9 left. And also SIDS and stars seem to work as well as VIAs. I don't imagine this is the most difficult part to put in, especially seeing as they've got all this data from the sim anyway, and of course they've got experience with the A320, but the fact they've been able to change the format shows a lot of work, and the fact these systems are able to work in the simulator, it shows how far they're progressing on it. Now, of course, we haven't got any previews of any autopilot technology so far, and I don't imagine we'll see that for a while. But these are the fundamentals, the stuff we need to have, and it's nice to see it working. Of course, the fact that we can load in routes, and the aircraft can already connect to external databases to retrieve that data is quite important. I mean, FlyByWire really are blowing me away, and it'll be nice to see where else the team can go with this over the next few months. I mean, I'm going to get more excited about the previews more and more as we get closer to a release, when of course we don't know when the release is going to be. But by the looks of it, it's not going to be extortionately long. It's not going to be 3-4 years. I think 1 year to a year and a half is probably a fair estimate. Finally, I missed this screenshot at the start of the video, so I thought to show it now. It's a view from the cockpit. Now, I'm not too familiar with the A380 cockpit. By the looks of it, this is the back of the cockpit at the right side. Just from the look of how the light is coming in, you can see we've got some folders down there, which in the old days would have held SIDS and stars, but nowadays are probably mostly redundant because they're all on an iPad. And it shows basically that the cockpit is working in the sim. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to render in those lighting like that unless they've been specifically placed there. But by the looks of it, this is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. As you can see by the top left, it does say in-sim texturing. So getting an early look at how the cockpit is textured is getting me very excited. I think that's the thing to take away from this video. These screenshots and videos are awesome. They don't reveal too much, but they reveal enough to get you pumped up. Anyway guys, what do you think? I've been sharing all my thoughts on the A380 progress so far. It looks awesome. I am so excited, and if you're not excited, what are you doing here? You should be excited. Anyway, from me today, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. It does mean a lot. If you have enjoyed, consider becoming a subscriber to support the channel, as well as giving me a like or a comment down below. It's much appreciated. I'd like to say a massive thank you to my channel members. Thank you to Owen K, Captain Matt Russell, Jesse Wiseman, Ethan Bubeck and Simon Schmidt. You guys really do help me out, and if you want to become a channel member to support the channel in return for exclusive perks, consider clicking that blue join button. Finally, as many of you know, I'm running a charity fundraiser, raising money for two awesome charities, SAFA, the Armed Forces charity, and St Nicholas Hospice, a local hospice of mine. I'll be doing a skydive, and you guys alongside me will be raising some money for all these awesome charities. The Just Giving link is in the description. We're over halfway with both our charities so far. I've kind of split it weirdly on Just Giving because they don't allow multiple charities, but all the information you need is on that link. Anyway, from me today, you can join the FlyByWire Discord from the link in the description. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.